can't mess with soldiers, no cell big enough to hold us. Came to be a wrecking ball to these boulders. Know this, I ain't scared of these cobras. Over time they've tried to just fold us. They thought they could mess with this focus, but there's no room for these locusts, cause real face belief without borders. Hold this. We yell but no one hears. We persevere as we approach the line. We march through all those fears that kept us here. This time they're left behind. Acting like they don't notice, but they're just mad because they can't mold us. Don't you never underestimate soldiers, cause you can build 1,000 walls, you can't hold us. If we just keep running away, we'll never make it alive. Till we stand and we fight, aim fire and blow it away. We're storming enemy lines, leaving no one behind. This rock can't hold us, cause the light is shown us. No fear's big enough to own us. We were never meant to fit in these folders. Know this, I ain't scared of these poses. Over time we all face opponents. They thought they could mess with this focus. They forgot the end of the climb's the coldest. Know this, life's a battlefield of moments. Hold this. We yell but no one hears. We persevere as we approach the line. We march through all those fears that kept us here. This time they're left behind. Acting like they don't notice, but they're just mad because they can't mold us. Don't you never underestimate soldiers, cause you can build 1,000 walls, you can't hold us. If we just keep running away, we'll never make it alive. Till we stand and we fight, aim fire and blow it away. We're storming enemy lines, leaving no one behind.
following trailer is rated H for honest. Based on a toy that teaches kids patience, creativity, and construction, comes the game that teaches kids instant gratification, button mashing, and destruction. Lego Marvel Superheroes. You've been waiting for Marvel Cinematic Universe to join forces with Spider-Man, X-Men, and Fantastic Four. But until then, this nonsense will have to do. As your favorite superheroes are reduced to super embarrassing parodies of themselves.
Huh? Hulk rip pants.
Hi, I'm Deadpool, and I want a pony.
Actually, Deadpool is pretty spot on. Experience the perfect game to waste $10 as you face tank enemies with the strength of an angry fetus. Solve puzzles designed to challenge a really stupid baby and can't die. No, seriously, you can't die. It's like a kid's version of the Groundhog Day suicide montage. But if you're a completionist with nothing better to do, kill yourself trying to get to 100% complete as you rage against impossible rooftop obstacle courses, finding all 50 gratuitous Stan Lee cameos.
Why is I'm all over this game? At what point do I stop being a cameo and start being a star?
And the worst flying controls in a game since Superman 64. No, wait! Why are you climbing? Turn around, dummy! No, don't stop! Why can't I invert these? Down! Go down, you idiot! Why are you turning left? So while you whine about Call of Duty, Madden, and Assassin's Creed releasing the same game every year, get blinded by childhood nostalgia as you keep paying for the same exact— Hey, Lego Star Wars was great. Paying for the same exact— They made Lego Indiana Jones too? Cool. Same. Ooh, look, it's Harry Potter. Expelliarmus. Lord of the Rings? Oh, sick, bro. Whoa, what is that? I don't even know what that is, but I want it. You win, Lego. Shut up and take my money. Starring these characters that made it into a Lego game way before Marvel would ever put them into a movie. Beta Ray Bill, Moon Knight, Iron Fist, Kraven the Hunter, Miss Marvel, Captain Britain, Nova, MODOK, and Squirrel Girl. Although how cool will a Squirrel Girl movie be, right? The Avengers, the movie, the toys, the game.
Who wrote the Bible, when was it written, and what in the world is the book of Revelation about? The Bible is not simply one book, but rather 66 different books written by 40 different authors, fishermen, kings, shepherds, doctors, and prophets, in 3 different languages, Hebrew, Greek, and Aramaic, on 3 different continents, Africa, Asia, and Europe, over a period of 1,500 years. They are called scriptures, and these scriptures share one common storyline: the creation, fall, and redemption of mankind. Now that leaves one really big question. Why in the world was it written? Think about an owner's manual for a car. It tells you who made it, why it was made, and how to maintain it. Now replace car with life, and there's your answer. The Bible reveals to us why we were created, acts as a guide as we strive to stay on the right path, and shows us the way to our salvation. Now, how is the Bible organized? Like we said, it's actually 66 separate books. The first 39 make up the Old Testament and cover everything from creation to wars, wisdom to poetry, history to prophecy, and it all points to Jesus Christ in the New Testament. The New Testament contains eyewitness accounts of Jesus Christ's time on earth, a history of how the Christian church began and grew, and a whole slew of letters written to those churches by the apostles. And finally, we top it all off with the book of Revelation, which is essentially a crazy vision of the end of the world given to an apostle named John. And that is the book.
We're exploring 3 books in the Bible known as the wisdom literature: Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and Job. And they're all asking the question, what does it mean to live well in this world?
So we've looked at Proverbs, who you could think of as a bright young teacher.
She's all about pursuing wisdom, an attribute of God that's woven into reality. And she's optimistic that if you use wisdom, you will build a successful life.
But then we come to Ecclesiastes, who's more like this sharp, middle-aged critic. And he says,
"You think using wisdom will bring you success. You'd better think again, because life here under the sun is meaningless."
And that's a phrase he uses a lot in this book.
But to understand this book, we have to realize first that we're hearing two voices.
So first there's the teacher, and we've been calling him the critic. He's the main voice in the book.
But he is introduced to us by another figure, the author. And he's the one who's collected the critic's words, and then at the end of the book summarizes everything and gets the final word.
So why does the author want us to hear from the critic?
Well, he wants to turn your view of the world upside down, and he's going to let the critic explore three really disturbing things about the world.
And we should warn you, these are pretty intense.
Yeah, so the first is the march of time, or as the critic says,
Generations come and generations go, but the earth, it's been here long before us and will be long after. No one remembers people from long ago, and all the people yet to come, they too will be forgotten by those who come after them.
So, on a cosmic scale, you and I, we are just a blip. Stars are born, and then they die and form planets which orbit new stars, and those planets, they change over time and eventually burn out.
And amidst this cosmic backdrop, my entire existence is like a blink in time.
Which leads to the critic's second disturbing observation, that we are all going to die.
Humans face the same fate as the animals, death. All people, the righteous and the wicked, the good and the bad, those who offer sacrifices to God and those who do not, they all share the same destiny. All this activity and madness, then we all join the dead.
Man, this book is depressing.
And so is the final disturbing thing for the critic, and that is life's random nature.
So in Proverbs, life isn't random. There's a clear cause and effect relationship between doing the right thing and being rewarded.
But the fact is that life doesn't always work that way. The critic has observed a glitch in the system. He calls it chance, or in his words,
The race doesn't always go to the swift, or the battle to the strong, nor does food always come to the wise, or wealth to the brilliant, or favor to the educated. Time and chance happen to them all.
So his point is that you can't really control anything in life. It's just way too unpredictable.
So if I want to master life,
Then you're setting yourself up for a fall. Now, throughout the book, the critic uses a metaphor to tie together all of these disturbing ideas. Nearly 40 times he says that everything in life is hevel. It's a Hebrew word that means smoke or vapor. Like smoke, life is beautiful and mysterious.
it takes one shape, and before you know it, it takes a new shape.
And smoke looks solid, but try and grab it, it'll slip right through your fingers.
And when you're stuck in the thick of it, like fog, it's impossible to see clearly.
Now, our modern translations have lost the metaphor, and they usually translate hevel as meaningless. But if you read closely, the critic isn't saying that life has no meaning, but rather that its meaning is never clear. Like smoke, life is confusing, it's disorienting and uncontrollable.
So what are we supposed to do with all of this?
Well, surprisingly, the critic first of all acknowledges the perspective of Proverbs. He says it's a really good idea to learn wisdom and to live in the fear of the Lord.
Really? I mean, he just said that doesn't guarantee success.
But he knows it's the right thing to do. But secondly, and more often, he says that since you can't control your life, you should stop trying. Learn to hold things with an open hand, because you really only have control over one thing, and that's your attitude towards the present moment. Stop worrying, he says, and choose to enjoy a good conversation with a friend, or the sun on your face, or a good meal with people that you care about.
The simple things in life.
Yes, and both the good things and the bad, because both are rich gifts from God. And that's the surprising wisdom of Ecclesiastes.
Listening to the critic is painful and can lead you into some dark places.
And that's why the author speaks up at the end of the book. He doesn't want you to lose hope. He wants to make you humble into someone who trusts that life has meaning even when you can't make sense of it, that one day God will clear the hevel and bring his justice on all that we've done. And so he tells us that the proper response to all of this is to fear the Lord and keep his commandments.
And that's the book of Ecclesiastes.